Well, hello and welcome to Old People This Week. My name is Jeff, and that rascal there, that's Mike, aka Mr. Mullet. I'm going to show an old picture of Mike when he. Oh, I guess that's not Mike after all, and you can see that. But the reason I bring it up is because the United States of America Mullet Championship, the USA Mullet Championship, just took place,
Yep.
and they've crowned a new champion. His name is Mason Padilla. He's 13. He's been competing for the best mullet in America since 2019, and he took the top prize in the teen category for his, as he called it, his West Coast wave cut.
Yeah. I have no idea what that is, but he's got hair down to his waist.
But that's the wave cut. It's all with that big hunk of hair in the back of his neck. And then they quoted Mason as saying, "I never thought a haircut could take me this far." And he goes, "I hope it will inspire other kids."
Yeah. Oh, good. No, please. Do you see his championship belt that he's holding up in his picture?
Yeah, what a ridiculous thing. United States Mullet Championship. Who knew that it even existed?
Yeah. Please don't put that on your resume in 10 years.
When he's going to college, that'll be the first thing on there. We are your hosts. Old People This Week is for quick, smart people who are 60 years of age and above. So if you somehow stumbled onto this website and you're not yet 60, either show yourself the door or stick around and learn something, because Mike and I are the smartest men in Riverside County, California.
That we know of.
That we know of. Every week we endeavor to bring you our gently aging peeps, the news stories, gossip, and information that you need to know as you head into the weekend. And you want to sound smart, of course, when you're talking with your friends at the gym, on the pickleball court, the golf course, or of course at happy hour.
Happy hour. The happier we get, the longer we sit. Or is it the reverse?
The longer those hours get. Now, we're actually going to see each other on Thursday night. It's not happy hour, but it's a small soiree for a friend of ours who's turning 60.
Yeah. Just a youngster.
You're right. And now she's eligible to watch this show.
Yeah. And subscribe.
Last week, she's not allowed in here. This week, she is.
Yeah. I got a call, by the way, from the wife of the young kid who used to be my assistant when I had the apparel business in San Francisco. And he's turning 50.
Oh, man.
So she wanted me to do a video clip wishing him a happy 50th.
What's his name?
Jared.
Well, happy birthday, Jared.
Yeah.
Anyway, please subscribe. We have 99 subscribers, by the way. We need one more for that magical 100. If you subscribe, Mike will mow your lawn or cut your hair. He does it with the same tools, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Look at that. Perfect height.
Uh-huh.
You can either wear it like this, or you can putt on it if you're into golf.
Please email us, oldpeoplethisweek@gmail.com. We'll take all questions, comments. We'll tell you everything you need to know, and even things you don't need to know. We specialize in those. Check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. That's for those of you who don't like to see our wonderful faces every week.
Why would you not want to see these faces?
They may break your screen. That's why. And check out our Substack at 52tasks.substack.com. Last week we talked about what you should wear, what's proper to wear in the proper situations. And we have a surprise for you this week. You'll love it, so I'm not going to give it away. We did get another comment.
I loved your description of your cargo shorts, by the way.
Yeah.
Please burn those.
I don't have them on, otherwise I'd stand up and show you.
Oh, no.
Last week we talked about how these crazy Gen X people are decorating their dorm rooms. And we actually got a comment from Allison Moreland, who's commented on several of our shows. She said, regarding dorm rooms, my roommate and I went to Georgia Tech in the mid-'70s. Our dads built us bunk beds, which were quite extravagant for the time. A third-hand couch could then be put on the other side. We were the talk of the floor, party down. At that time, the ratio was 9 guys to every girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Who cared about the decor?
9 guys to every girl. I wouldn't I wouldn't have had a chance
Well,
with 8 other guys.
I would never have left my daughter there. But the hell with building her a bunk bed. I'd have taken her out of school.
Build her a steel cage,
Yeah.
put her in. Okay, what was I going to rant about today? Oh, first one was, remember Ray Gunn, that totally inept Australian breakdancer?
Yeah, the woman who was having a seizure instead of breakdancing.
She was the worst dancer I've ever seen. I could do better than that, and that's saying a lot. She went number 1 today in the world by the sports governing body. The World Dance Sport Federation released its world ranking list, saying in a statement that Gunn, her name is Rachel Gunn in real life, she secured the top spot after she came in first place in the 2023 Oceania Continental Championships, which took place, by the way, before the Olympics. So she hadn't yet had a chance to embarrass herself enough to lose her number 1 ranking.
This was a breakdancing competition?
Yeah,
They ranked her number 1?
yeah, in the world.
Jesus.
The ranking puzzled many people, some of who took to social media to point out that the 37-year-old B-girl who performs as Ray Gunn did not receive a single point from the Olympic judges.
Yeah, it just invalidates the whole sport. It should never appear in the Olympics again. That's
Yeah, she's
nonsense.
terrible. She's
That's
terrible.
nonsense.
They're not. I already read that they're not bringing it back for the LA
Good.
Olympics. It's stupid. All right, AARP. Let's talk a little AARP.
Or
I have
not.
mixed feelings about it. I like it. They have a lot of good information in their magazines and bulletins, but there's a lot of things that just piss me off. For example, Kevin Costner is on the cover. And you know
Your
how I feel
favorite.
about Costner.
Your favorite.
Costner,
Your
and
favorite.
the second terrible thing is he's got a dog lab there.
Yeah, you're going to offend. You're going to offend half our audience. Those who have pets and love them, and those who watch Kevin Costner movies and love them.
Costner's had what looks like his face looks weird, like he's had something done to it, by the way.
Oh, you think so? Gee, what what a surprise that would be. Somebody in Hollywood.
He's on there. He's come to the point where he's pitching this dumb second chapter of Horizon American Saga on AARP. Let me see. This is the review, by the way. The second 3-hour tranche of the Wild West themed soap operatic drama premiering at the Venice Film Festival has basically the same problems as its predecessor. Too much setup and not enough payoff. Jagged editing that only highlights the lack of harmony between its disparate narrative strands, and cliche-tinged production values that often make it feel corny and old-fashioned and not in a good way.
That's why we love it. Corny and old-fashioned.
It's not even
Who's the
corny.
review? Who's the reviewer, by the way?
I don't know. I didn't put it on. I didn't care. I was just looking for the worst review I could find.
Yeah, just to antagonize me.
AARP, in both the magazine and the bulletin that they send out, they think that we, meaning the audience that is supposed to be buying this magazine, are only interested in celebrities that are also old.
No.
So, yeah. So, for example, in this issue that I showed you, they have an article on Don McLean, who wrote Bye Bye Miss American Pie. Who cares?
Yeah.
That's ancient history. And Mary Lou Henner, who was the actress who was on Taxi back in the 70s, and she's 72 years old now.
I was going to say she's almost as old as me.
Yeah. And then they had these quotables. I'm going to show you the quotables. See, Pat Sajak there.
Yeah. Mhm.
He was saying, I'd rather leave a couple years early than a couple years too late. It's been a great 40 years. You know what, I actually agree with him. Timing is everything. If you get it right, then you're good.
Yeah. Well,
All right, I'm going to read.
You did that.
Yeah.
You retired at the height of your career.
At the height, at
And
the
you're
pinnacle.
still young.
At the pinnacle.
And
The
now
pinnacle of my earning life. I just
Now here
walked
you
away from it all.
Here you are in a podcast with global reach. Papua New Guinea is clinging to every moment.
That's right. We have a New Guinea viewer, and we'll have to. If I knew how to speak New Guinea-ish, I would tell him
Yeah.
hi, but everything. All right, here's a quote. You tell me who said it. I don't think I'm telegenic. I'm one of those artists who should be seen and not necessarily. Oh, I completely screwed it up. I'm one of those artists who should be heard and not necessarily seen. This is a guy
No
we
idea.
talked about recently.
Oh, Danny Trejo.
No, Madison Square Garden.
Billy Joel.
Billy Joel said that. And you're right, Billy Joel, you are ugly, you're not telegenic, and you're lucky you can sing. Otherwise, you'd be you'd be working at a lube store somewhere, changing oil. All right, here's the next one. I can't remember what I had for breakfast, but I can remember what I did when I was 15 years old. It's amazing. You'll never guess this one.
No, I have no idea.
Dick Van Dyke says it. He's 98 years old.
How does he keep going?
I don't know. I can't imagine
And he's
what's
still
like.
and he's still
98.
as goofy as he ever was. You see in his interview a while back. I saw him. He's pretty sharp. He's goofy.
Well, it's interesting what he says is that every once in a while I will have a memory of something. Like I can't remember what room I'm in right now. As soon as I leave it, I'll forget.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden I'll have a flash of a memory, like when I was in my early teens or something.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right, here's another one. This one killed me. I don't get much of a buzz from performing with the Who. If I'm really honest, I've been touring for the money.
Well, at least he's truthful.
This guitarist Pete Townsend, who's 79 years old, is basically saying that what we know about all these artists, Mick Jagger, Billy Joel,
Yeah.
Madonna, any of them, they're just touring for the money. They don't have anything new to say, and who cares? All right. I want to get out, take my dress off, and put my jammies on. It's kind of like the opposite of Cinderella. This is a person of famous star talking about leaving parties. You know who that was?
No,
No,
could
never guess.
have been any of 100.
Yeah. Nicole Kidman, who's 57. Nicole Kidman, by the way, works nonstop. She's on like 8
She's in
Netflix.
everything.
Yeah. Right
She's
now.
in everything. She's got 2 feature films out.
Yeah.
She's on television.
Yeah.
Well, see her everywhere.
I know. I've been watching I watched The Perfect Couple, her new series on Netflix. It started started a couple weeks ago. We watched 2 or 3 episodes the other night. It's good, actually.
Is it good? Yeah, because we
Yeah.
saw the previews. We just finished Griselda.
Was
which
that good?
Oh, man. Brutal.
Oh, that's that one with what's her name, Viero or whatever. She's beating people to death with baseball bats and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, what's her name?
She was on Modern Family.
I have a senior moment here. She's on America's Got Talent. She's one of the judges. Sofia Vergara.
Sophia Vergara.
Yeah, it's really good, and the makeup and everything they've done on her is terrific. I mean, it's pretty scary.
Pretty scary. Pretty brutal, I heard.
Yeah, horrible. And I guess totally factual in terms of the reign of terror she brought to Miami.
There's nothing total. Total facts and TV don't mix.
Yeah, that's probably true.
All right, here's the last one. Quote, how do you stay married for 47 years? Question. You get a little hard of hearing, both of us. You know who said that?
I have no idea.
Judge Judy.
Who has a new show now?
What is that new show? What is she
No,
doing?
she's back on TV with another Judge Judy spinoff. So we'll have to check her out. Yeah.
Yeah, her, by the way, the episode that we used her face as the thumbnail on
Yeah.
has almost 15,000 views. It's the most we've had all time.
Yeah. God bless her.
I know, I'm just going to keep using her face on she should become the face. I'll just put her face over yours, superimpose it on there.
No. I have better hair than she does.
You have better hair than a cue ball. That's it. Anyways, my point after all this discussion and reading those quotes is that AARP is only interested in celebrities who are also old. Well, I'm interested in young things. I just watched Incoming, which was a nasty funny, a movie about 15-year-old boys who are going to their first high school party. I want young things. I listen to Megan Thee Stallion, and Mike, I know, who, by the way, this is Mike, who's known in the rap world as Whiz Bang. I know that you listen to BLP Kosher, that
Yes.
famous young rapper. You like him because he's from Florida.
I
They call him
cannot
the
tell you, I cannot tell you how much I hate rap.
Whiz Bang.
Oh my God.
His song, BLP Kosher has a song called Dreidel Man, and he's one of the more unique artists to blow up recently. If the name doesn't give it away, Kosher is very proud of his Jewish background, which is often referenced in songs and titles, such as one off of his 2023 album. The name of the song was Bar's Mitzvah. Stupid.
I
Bar's
love it.
Mitzvah.
Rap. It always astounds me that nobody in the rap world can take a step without grabbing their crotch, shaking their fingers in front of their face like they just discovered they had hands.
Hey, listen, we should be doing that when we go to happy hour. We'll go walk in, grab our crotches, wave our hands around, and just bop in. Watch those old women go crazy for us.
The end of civilization. Rap.
Oh, speaking of rappers, you know who Pitbull is? Of course
Yeah, I
you do.
love Pitbull. I love
'Cause
Pitbull.
you are. What's your name again? Whiz Bang.
Yeah. You can put that one to rest.
Never. That's a good rap name. Singer, rapper, entrepreneur Pitbull. He doesn't look like your regular rapper either. He looks, I don't know what he looks like.
Well, he's not. He's a real singer. He completes a whole sentence. He doesn't grab his crotch.
Yeah, he does. I don't think you know who Pitbull is. I'm going to put
Yes,
a
I
picture
do.
of him. He's a,
No, I do. I like
you,
it.
you think he's that, what's his name? Jelly Jam. What's the name of the one from, that does the Stagecoach?
Oh, Jelly Roll?
Yeah,
No,
Jelly Roll.
no.
Well, anyway, Pitbull is older. He's a senior citizen in that world. But anyway, he agreed to pay $6 million to Florida International University, which, by the way, if you didn't know it, is in Miami. It's got 39,000 students, which, by the way, that's a lot of students.
That's a lot of
Average
students.
tuition is $8 grand a year.
Wow.
Cheap.
Yeah. No, good for him. He's no, he's I've seen him many times, and he's articulate. He's a good performer. I think he's a good guy.
Anyway, he actually went to this university and paid $6 million for the naming rights to its football stadium. So it's now going to be Pitbull Stadium, and this is not a joke. This was a huge story,
Yeah.
and I listened to an entire story on NPR, and they went down and talked to this person down at Florida International University, F.I.U., and they said, and one of the questions was, why did you do this? Why did you sell the naming rights to Pitbull? And he goes, it got us instant notoriety. Look, he goes, you wouldn't be down here talking to us if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for Pitbull. And then
Well, yeah.
he was right. Which is, this whole thing is very unusual. And part of it is that he gets certain things as well. Like, for example, he gets the stadium for a night for himself. So he could do a concert
cool.
there. He could just have his friends come down there and run around and go nuts.
Toss football around.
Toss the football around. It's his for one night, no matter what he wants to do.
Have the Pitbull Bowl.
Pitbull Bowl.
Yeah.
Pitbull Bowl. Yeah, that's cool. Hey, all right, Beetlejuice. That got released this weekend. I'm not going to go see it. I don't like Michael Keaton that much, but I remember the first one. It was funny. It was interesting, different. Its opening weekend was $110 million.
Oh,
It only cost it cost them $100 million, which is not only, but they've already made more than it cost them. It's got Michael Keaton, who, by the way, looks like he's about 112.
he is.
Catherine O'Hara, who is 112. Winona Ryder, and then to bring in some youth, they brought in Jenna Ortega to play Ryder's daughter.
Yeah.
And so the box office this week was Beetlejuice, Deadpool, Reagan, of all things, Alien Romulus, and It Ends With Us, The Forge, and then last place was Twisters that made 2.3 million. So opening weekend for Beetlejuice 110 million, Twister rolls in at 2.3.
Nothing you mentioned is worth going to see.
I think I would see. Well, you've dissed every one of these, so I can't. You've
It's
seen them
crap.
all and hated them all.
No, it's just crap.
I think the Alien Romulus I would like.
Not after Sigourney Weaver did the original. It's everything else is just it's like more of it. Some big slobbering beast eating up your spaceship. Okay, I get it.
Drooling acid.
Yeah.
It's better. At least that alien makes more sense than the ones that we saw on the Quiet trilogy.
Yeah, we still don't know what that's about.
We don't know why they're there. What's that about?
Where'd
Big
they come
ears. That's
from?
all.
Where'd they come from? Where'd
And
they
why
come
are they
from?
there?
Why are they pissed off?
And they don't eat anybody. If you think if you're gonna if you might there's got to only be a couple reasons you take over a planet, because yours is dying like in some movies, and they want to take over Earth to just take it over,
Yeah.
and some they come just to eat us.
A snack.
I'm not eating you. You're all gristle. All right.
I'd be good survival food. You could gnaw on me for a long time.
On you for a while. Oh, jeez. All right. The Wheel of Misfortune is the title of this next story. Pat Sajak finally had the decency to quit that show after 40 years. Thank you,
Walk
Pat.
away. Yeah.
He walked away. And the Wheel of Fortune has a new host, the one, the only Ryan Seacrest. And it started this past Monday.
Yeah. Did you see him?
No, it was just no. I don't like Wheel of Fortune. I think it's for dolts. I mean, you're spinning a thing and then guessing on that. It's. I like Jeopardy. I think Jeopardy
love
challenges you, but
Yeah.
this Wheel of Fortune, I don't think so. So he's teaming up with Vanna White. You want to guess how old Vanna White is, by the way?
You got to be 60s.
67.
Yeah.
She's been turning letters on the show since 1983.
Can you imagine? And when she first came on, Sajak didn't like her.
Why?
We just didn't like her.
Yeah.
He didn't think she was the right person.
I saw her and Sajak in a bar in the mid '80s in Los Angeles on Cahuenga Boulevard.
Yeah.
Not the Cahuenga in Hollywood, but where Cahuenga goes through that pass between the city and over and to Universal City, and there was a bar there, and they must have just got done work, and I saw them. And that time, Vanna was probably 25. She was gorgeous. Now, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you'll get to meet her because she comes out here a lot.
Oh, she does?
She has a place out here. And her best friend is Sandy Newton.
Oh, that's cool.
Who did our interview.
We should, maybe we can, Sandy is probably too embarrassed to introduce us to Vanna White.
Nah,
If
she
we
loves
see her
us.
at the bar.
She loves us.
So they said to, what's Seacrest spin on taking over for longtime host Pat Sajak? Ryan says, don't mess with what's been working for decades. I think just being there is so different, right? I mean, Pat and Vanna have been on the screens and in people's living rooms for so many years, which is a blessing. And just walking out with Vanna is enough of a change for this show at the beginning. It's not broken, so let's not fix it. Ryan's basically saying, I'm coming in there, I'm just stepping in there. You spin that wheel, I'll say whatever I got to say, and just hand me that check.
Yeah, and he did it, and that's about what he did. It was pretty uneventful.
Yeah, it's not.
You know.
It doesn't take a huge personality to do that. It takes someone actually like a Sajak who has a Melba Toast personality just to stand there and do that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I knew Seacrest at E! Entertainment Television. I'll run through this story quickly. But in 2006, he was already doing Idol. He was a big shot. And he had his radio show, which made him millions of dollars. And plus, he was getting a buku bucks from Idol. But E! Entertainment Television wanted to hire Ryan to be the host of E! News and to do the live at the red carpet show. So we backed up the Brinks truck to his house, and He is an interesting guy. He's a gourmand. He likes to go to restaurants, and when he goes to restaurants, he collects the menus and has the chefs sign them, and he hangs them in his house.
Oh,
And he belongs to a place up in Napa Valley which basically is a private vineyard and Epicurean restaurant,
yeah.
gourmet restaurant.
It's called the Reserve.
The Reserve.
Yeah. It was built
Yeah, he has they actually grow wine that is labeled a Seacrest brand out of there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's founded by Bill Harlan.
God, he makes so much
Harlan
money though.
Estates. Yeah.
He makes a ton of money. I was with him one time. He called me up and he said, "Hey, come on over." He goes, "I'm in Westwood." I was living in Westwood at the time. And he goes, "I'm at Wally's Wines, and I'm going to pick out some wines." So I met him at Wally's Wines, and he's walking through with his BlackBerry, like this, looking at the BlackBerry and then looking at the wines with a sommelier who worked there. And they're picking out really expensive wines, like $1,500 a bottle of wine. And I said, "What are you doing? What is this for?" He said, "Well, they just gave me a raise at Fox, a new 3-year contract to do Idol at the time."
Oh,
He
wow.
goes, "So I'm buying all these wines for his name was Nigel something, who was like the executive producer, creator of the show. And he was going to have it stocked as a surprise in Nigel's wine cellar at Nigel's home."
Oh,
So he was buying all this wine for that, and I said, "Well, what are they paying you?" And he goes, "Well, my new contract is $15 million a year for 3 years." On top of what he was making from Eve with us, and on top of what he was rolling in the dough from money that he was making at doing that radio show, which was a
wow.
cash cow. And he was
Wally,
probably 30 then.
yeah. Wally's, by the way, was a very cool wine shop.
What?
We used to go there when we lived in Century City. I loved
They,
Wally's.
they closed it down now.
Yeah.
They moved it. They moved it to Beverly Hills, actually, on Wilshire Boulevard.
Yeah.
And they used to have a little sandwich part of it. You could go into Wally's and order sandwiches. Oh, they were good.
Yeah.
All right. You sent me this only in show business kind of story that I loved. Anna Sorokin will perform with an ankle monitor on Dancing with the Stars.
You go get him, girl.
At first, I didn't know what the hell this was and what you were talking about and who Anna Sorokin was. And then I remembered I'd actually seen the series on her on Netflix a few years ago called Inventing Anna.
Yeah.
She pretended to be a German heiress with a trust fund,
Yeah.
and she trying to make her way through New York society and get to the top of it, and also buy herself, I can't remember the business. It was like either a restaurant or some kind of a clothing business. She was trying to buy a business.
Yeah.
But the thing about her was, and the thing that was unlikable about her is that the people that she stole money from weren't just rich or corporate people. She stole money from her friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. She would go on these elaborate trips with her friends and then slip out and they would get stuck paying for it. And these people weren't wealthy or anything. They were just normal people. And they would get stuck with the bill and then they eventually went to the cops and that's how they got her.
Yeah. She's a real piece of work.
Real piece of work.
But hey, if it bleeds, it leads. So
Yeah.
who better to put on a dance show?
Well, she was convicted in 2019. She served 2 years in prison, and she's in the middle of this 18 months of extra penalty because she overstayed her visa. So she did the 2 years for the financial crimes. Then the Department of Homeland Security or somebody got her because she overstayed her visa.
Yeah.
So there's a picture of her that I'll try to get here, a press photo from Dancing with the Stars that shows her, and you can see that she's wearing her court-ordered ankle bracelet.
Supervised release.
You're not wearing your ankle bracelet anymore, are you?
No, I cut it off. When I moved, I just cut it off. They don't know where I am.
You've had that crime of wearing that mullet that you used to have. That was a crime.
You'd be very, very surprised at how
See, I have
long
the
my hair was.
anti-mullet. There's nothing in the back.
No, there's nothing anywhere.
Party up front.
Whatever that is, standing up top. I don't know what that is.
Party up front, nothing in the back. No, nothing going on in back.
You should never get around an open flame with that hairdo.
Yeah, I can't lose this. Once it's gone, it's never coming back. You watched The Bachelorette this season, didn't you?
Oh God, what a shit show.
So I'm going to recap what I wrote down here, and then you tell me if it's happened or not. So the woman's name was Jenn Tran,
Yeah.
and it came down at the very end to two guys, Marcus and Devin. Both of them shared their traumatic childhood experiences with her on supposedly the second to last episode. Marcus was more reserved, which made any steps towards love feel authentic, but Devin was a fan favorite, a buoyant personality who seemed genuinely enamored with Jenny Tran. It was almost shocking how unguarded he was with his feeling. The only question seemed to be whether Tran would choose the exuberant Devin, admittedly less conventionally attractive than some of the other men, or the more available Marcus. It was supposed to be the source of suspense. Midway through the finale, Jen had a difficult conversation with Marcus in which it became clear he would never get there emotionally, so she chose to end that relationship. That meant that Devin, who appeared to be the right pick, the guy who was actually there for the right reasons, the one who was genuinely into her, was the only guy left. The show was ready to, say the winner is Devin.
Yeah.
And
The de facto winner.
in Hawaii, after breaking up with Marcus, Jen told Jesse she planned to ask Devin to marry her. It seemed that she was on the verge of her happy ending. But it didn't happen, did it?
Nah, no. He broke up with her.
Yeah, but they didn't. So rather than roll the proposal footage, producers cut in with host Jesse Palmer, and it was quickly clear that between the moment of triumph and the taping of the last episode, something had gone terribly wrong.
Yeah.
There was a break from the norm when, even if a couple has broken up since the season wrapped, the show allows the proposal to unfold before breaking the bad news to the audience. But over the next hour, they just exploited the fact that Devin basically dumped her ass.
Yeah. He told her he didn't really care for her after all, and he wasn't in the mood. And actually, when he called her and in a 15-minute phone call and said, basically, I'm dumping you. I don't want to go forward. And he said, no, I don't want to talk about it anymore until the final episode when I see you in person.
And did he? Or has that final episode happened yet?
Yeah. Yeah. He came on.
And what'd he say?
Just the him and high and the usual bullshit. I mean, it was the one interesting thing though. One of the women named Maria from Alaska. I mean, great looking, great body, and no bullshit all the way through. And it turns out he was fascinated with her, so he'd been following her, and and she was one of the ones who had been selected to be the finalist instead of Jenn Tran.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he basically decided that he was going to pursue the Alaskan girl, not
Well,
Jen.
he was just more interested in her than in Jen.
These guys are all idiots.
Yeah. And now we have the Golden Bachelorette just starting.
Yeah, I'm psyched up about that. That's next month, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be great. That's awesome. Though our first Bachelor has pretty much sunk into into the world of nobody cares anymore.
Oh yeah, no, but you never hear his name anymore. Nobody cares. No.
I follow him on Instagram. Nobody gives a crap. He's doing things like, oh, I went for a bike ride this week with a bunch of swell gals.
No.
All right, more about these imbeciles that are younger than us. Let's just get right to it. Raw dogging. You know what that raw dogging means?
Yeah.
All right. So, raw dogging is a new TikTok trend in which plane passengers boast about enduring an entire flight without any form of entertainment or distraction. No phones, no TV, no books, no music. Some even forego the free snacks. So this guy said, just raw dogged a 7-hour flight, new personal best, said a UK-based DJ named Woodini, W-D-I-N-I. You know who he is, don't you there, whiz bang. He said that in the video. Guess how many views this stupid video got? 13 million views.
Why? Why?
We should have to do stuff like that if we're going to have people watch this podcast. Let's go get on an airplane and raw dog it down to Sydney or something and see if we survive it.
Yeah, or drive a nail through our hand or do something. I mean, Jesus.
I'm not driving a nail through my hand. He had 13 million views, no headphones, no movie, no water, nothing. He did a 7-hour flight.
Yeah, he probably drank 13 little gin and tonics.
He says he didn't do anything but sit and stare at the screen and on the screen he watched the airplane moving through the air. The dopes. That's how mentally empty that generation is.
Yeah.
That's what they're thinking about.
Frightening.
Then they make fun of boomers. We gave you airplanes. We gave you methods of entertaining yourself off airplanes. We've given you everything. Now take advantage of it. Don't slap us in the face, fool.
Yeah, we invented the minibar.
Yeah, we gave you everything you could want on a flight, and you don't even take care of it. All right. All right. Halloween's coming up, by the way.
Oh, yeah. We'll have to do our ritual out on the end of the driveway with our neighbor Rick.
Our neighbor Rick. We'll talk about it. Matter of fact, I'll shoot video that night, and you can see the debauchery we get into. But we sit at the end of his driveway, a bunch of old men and their wives, and steadily getting more inebriated as the night goes on, handing out candy to 6-year-old kids who probably think we're nuts. Their parents, are like, well, stay away from those two. Those
right.
old people.
That's right. Move right along, honey.
Yeah. Well, they start putting Halloween stuff in the stores, like in July, really. At Lowe's, they already had stuff at Lowe's.
Yeah, I was in Lowe's yesterday, and they've got that whole department.
Well, Home Depot sells this or sold this thing, and it's called the Jack Skellington, a 13-foot tall giant skeleton. I saw one of these things. I saw it in L.A. about a year ago, 2 years ago on Halloween, and it is incredible. It's a giant skeleton, 13 feet tall, which means that the head of it went over the first floor of the house. It's that big. And they'd hooked it up somehow. They secured it or tied it up on a tree or something. It was incredible. I took a picture of it. I remember when I was walking around to take a look at it because I'd never seen anything like it. Well, now they're selling Skelly Dog, a 7-foot long, 5 feet tall skeleton of a dog.
Yeah, did you see the picture of it? It looks pretty cool, actually.
It's got a skinny little head there, unlike you.
Hey,
Black nose.
Don't be making fun of my chins.
Black nose, super bright LCD eyeballs, kind of like you. And the jaw and the tail are adjustable, just like you.
Just like me.
Adjusting that jaw and your
Everything.
tail.
Everything.
$199 for Skelly Dog.
Yeah, much more expensive than that.
They could put you out front. You would scare people on Halloween. But put you standing there. Mike, stand here. We'll give you $20. You stand here
We'll give you a
all
Hershey
night.
bar. $20 in a Hershey bar.
We'll give you a $5.99 chicken from Costco. You stand out here for a few hours and we'll pay you to scare kids and they come up. Speaking of Costco, as we always talk about Costco, here are the 5 Costco prepared foods to avoid. Now, prepared food is meaning it's not raw food or it's food that they prepare, that they sell you that all you have to do is throw it in the oven and warm it up.
Yeah.
First one, well, this one's not even for the oven. First one, number 1 was the three-layered hummus. Now, I don't know what they're layering that hummus with, but it's the customers we're not having it.
Well, hummus is like eating putty. I mean, it has no reason to exist. It's, oh my God.
It's made out of chickpeas, I think.
Yeah, pureed chickpeas.
Yeah, they mash them up and then they season them with garlic usually, and oil, and then you eat them with pita chips or something. But evidently, this three, I don't know what the other two layers are besides chickpeas on this one at Costco, but didn't go over big. Number two, they're mac and cheese. Now, I don't like mac and cheese pre-prepared because it usually is kind of
Yeah, it's industrial grade. Has to be
iffy.
fresh. Has
Yeah,
to be
it has to be
fresh.
fresh. You have to make your own.
Little Parmigiano Reggiano. Yeah.
Remember last week you said you can get your Parmigiano Reggiano from Costco for $950 for a wheel.
For the wheel. But that will last you for 5 years.
That's right, because that stuff doesn't get old. Like it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't get
No,
even
the older
when
and
it
harder
gets.
it gets, the better.
Yeah,
Just shave it off and it's fabulous.
I buy this Parmigiano cheese in a thing from Costco, and you just shake it over your spaghetti. It's cheap. All right, the third thing they said was potato salad. This guy said, the big container of potato salad used to be my favorite. Now it is trash. So first of all, this guy would go to, I don't think you should go and be buying potato salad or macaroni salad for that matter at
No.
Costco.
No.
Because the one time I got sick as a dog on food was from getting potato salad from some, it wasn't a Costco, it was like a 7-Eleven, but I bought some potato salad there, and I think the mayonnaise had gone bad, and I spent the next 3 days, like every one of my orifices were open and releasing things.
Functioning. It's like truck stop sushi.
Yeah.
No.
So I stopped eating. I didn't have potato salad for about 5 years after that. And then there's another one that they said don't eat is the pulled pork. The Kirkland, and then in parentheses, smoked pulled pork, according to this guy, is actually ham. It's full of nitrates and it's gnarly in both taste and texture.
Ooh.
So the pulled pork is not pork at all. Well, it's pork. Ham is pork, or it's from a pig.
Yeah. But pulled pork is usually from a roast.
Well, it's from another part of the pig body, I think, than ham is.
The shoulder, yeah. Typically it's a baked shoulder and you just pull it apart.
Where's the ham from then?
That's the haunch, the rear haunch.
I don't know why I just asked you that question. I didn't want to hear that answer. All right,
I'm going to bring you to a meat cutting class sometime.
Oh, jeez.
You can identify the various animal parts.
All I want to identify is where's the hot dogs come from?
You city guys. Lips, eyelids, everything they can't sell. Otherwise, they grind up and put in a hot dog tube.
Ooh. All right, the last thing they said don't eat there is the churros. If you call those twisted fried dough things churros, you should be held on for trial by the International Culinary Court. So basically, they're not churros at all. They're not any churros that anybody south of the border is going to eat. This is the churros that they make for those heavy-set Midwesterners who go think that's what they're eating when they go into a Costco. Right.
I wonder how you tell the difference between a good churro and a bad churro.
I don't know.
I mean, they're all just deep fried flour, aren't they?
Yeah. I don't know, but evidently you can. And the person says that the ones that they make at Costco are for crap, so I'm not going to get them there. I'm going to stick with my chicken. What else did I get there? Some wine. What else do I get there to eat? We had one more. Oh, we did buy prepared food there, Valerie and I. One time we bought a lasagna from there.
Oh.
Kirkland.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that in the tray, right?
Yeah, in a tray.
Yeah.
And we came home, you heat it up for about 3 or 4 hours. And then once it's ready, you eat it. It wasn't too bad. You know how many milligrams of sodium it had?
No, probably 50.
5,000. My doctor doesn't want me to have more than 2,200 a day, and this thing had double that in one serving, by the way, not the whole pan of lasagna. Just your one little 5-ounce serving had more salt in it. That's the only thing that was holding the thing together.
Plus, it served a family of 12.
Or Yeah, or a family that I've some of those families that I've seen in Costco. You're not it's sort of a family of one, a guy and his wife.
Yeah.
All right. I'm doing this story not because it's that interesting, but because I just get pissed off. It's a copy of the Declaration of Independence was found in an eastern North Carolina old home that had once been owned by the governor of the state of North Carolina.
In a
And
file cabinet.
yeah, in a file cabinet, in a room that had a bunch of junk thrown into it.
Yeah.
They opened up the file cabinet. They found this copy of the Declaration of Independence, one of 100 copies printed up by the Secretary of the Congress, Charles Thompson, back in 1776. Just 8 are known to exist, and the other 7 are privately owned. The last time a copy sold by Sotheby's, it went for 43 million.
Yeah.
And what pisses me off is I never have that kind of luck where I stumble onto something like that.
It would be in your doom pile.
Yeah, my doom pile. I have all these old pennies that I saved since I was a little boy. I used to go have all these penny collections, and I literally so it's like 60 years old. 60 years ago I did this, and I would go to the bank in our little hometown with $1, get 100 pennies, go through them till I found some that fit into these collections, then bring the rest back, add to it, get another dollar's worth, and just keep doing it. And I would do it for days at a time till I had filled up all these penny collections. I put that penny collection away and I kept it for all these years. And recently I got it out. And I thought, I have got this penny collection. And back then, there were still ancient fucking pennies you could get. I mean, you'd get an Indian head penny back then.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was thinking, I've got this penny. This is gonna be worth so much money. I'm gonna buy a house in San Clemente with it. And I went through that thing penny by penny. And there's literally thousands of pennies. And guess what?
Zip.
It's probably worth $100.
Yeah.
There was not one of them that had like they stamped with the mint, like some of them
Yeah.
are stamped D or S.
Backwards, yeah, or
Yeah.
something.
And right, you're looking for the ones in which the S is backwards or there's some, none of mine. Everyone's fine and nothing's wrong. I just am so pissed off. And it was, and I read about a guy in Pacific Palisades in Los Angeles, goes out in his backyard, starts digging around, finds a bag full of gold. Me, nothing. I go digging around my backyard. There's a bunch of crap there from that dog.
Yeah.
That's all I'm getting out of the
Don't dig
ground.
too deep.
No, I don't want to dig deep. He buries stuff back there. If we give him a toy and it disappears, the next thing you know, it's back dug in the ground somewhere. All right. This is our last story, thank goodness. I titled it Florida Fools Forge Lottery Ticket. Only in Florida.
Only in Florida would you think you could get away with this shit.
Kira Enders, who's 36, and Dakota Jones, 32. So this is I don't like, see, I'm so old school that I think that men should always be older than the women they're dating.
Yeah.
Kira is 4 years older than this fool, Dakota Jones, and convinced him, because I think this was her idea. They were arrested and charged with forgery / alteration of a lottery ticket with intent to defraud. So basically, she walks into the lottery offices. She said she had possession of a winning lottery ticket, but it was actually 2 lottery tickets that had been torn in half, and she had like put together with some glue or tape or something, and then walks in there, fills out the back of it, but that basically warns you if you try to do anything like that, they're going to bust you. And she turns it in like, oh yeah, here's my ticket.
Well, she had some goofy story too, didn't she? About dropped the ticket and it got ripped in half. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of the stories was it got wet and fell apart, and she had to put it together, and so they wanted their money. And the cops then brought him in. They called him in, and they came in voluntarily, and they arrested him on the spot. Anyways, they're idiots. All right, that's it for today. I can't take any more. Can't take any more looking at that cue ball. If you were, you wish you had a lovely set of locks like this.
That's just frightening to me. That is just frightening to me. You look like you dropped your toaster in a bathtub. Your hair's just standing straight up on 10.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
All right. So please subscribe. If you subscribe, as I said at the beginning, Mike will come to your house and he'll either mow your grass or he'll comb, cut your hair. He uses the same tool for both, so it doesn't matter. Either way, you'll look like your head will look like that, or your lawn will look like that.
Oh, speaking of subscribing, our neighbor Rick subscribed.
He
So
did.
now so now we owe him happy hour.
He, well, good for him. If he,
Yeah.
he should have waited and become our 100th, and then we could have bought him something
Yeah.
special. Now he's just a regular. He doesn't get anything
Just-
special. Maybe his wife Jen will subscribe. She'll become the 100th.
Yeah,
I'll have to talk to him now.
yeah.
Send us an email, oldpeoplethisweek@gmail.com. Mike and I will answer all questions. We'll take all comments. We'll basically dazzle you with our mental abilities. If you can ask us any trivia questions. We'll tell you what to do in your life. Anything you need to know, it's all available to you. If you don't like looking at, well, it's probably you don't like looking at his face. If you don't like looking at it, go to Spotify or Apple and subscribe. That way you can just listen to my dulcet tones. You'll never find another love like mine.
Please. No,
Man,
you've got a great voice for cooling soup.
I can't get my voice low enough anymore. It's gone. It's shattered. I'm like Billy Joel.
Thank goodness.
No, it's not Billy Joel. Who is Bon Jovi with his bad, vocal cords. And check out our Substack at 52task.substack.com. That's all for today. Talk to you next week. And adios, amigo.
Adios. See you later, Jeff.
See you Thursday.
Yeah.